Hey everyone, welcome to Mega's Tarot. I'm Mega. So today I just want to do a quick reading on what is going to happen with NATO. So today's April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. There is some talk that tonight's address from Trump will be talking about possibly leaving NATO or actually leaving NATO. And what I'd like to do is just to see what the future is of NATO and to see what is actually going on. Now I did another video like 4 or 5 days ago, maybe it was almost a week ago. And in that video, I checked the relation between the United States and Europe. And the main takeaway from that, if I can remember, was that Europe is kind of questioning their relationship with the United States. So today, I just want to take a quick read on to see what the future is of NATO and see what's going on there. So, thank you for tuning in. Let's see, check out the near future for the U.S.-NATO alliance. Near future for the U.S.-NATO alliance. So before I do draw cards, I will say that I do believe that this is the absolute end of NATO, and I specifically see possibly in 2 weeks. So I think that timeline that Trump is saying, like 2 weeks, I really see that may be the possible point at which we probably will end up leaving NATO completely. But let's just see what the cards have to say. So this will be the near future for the U.S.-NATO alliance. Near future for the U.S.-NATO alliance. Near future for the U.S.-NATO alliance. I probably should have done some research before I did this. I'm just thinking about that. But I'm already in the video, so let's just get going. I know like they're like a defensive alliance. I know there's like 30... Whoa. Satisfaction. So that's someone being unhappy. Now I know it's like 30-something countries, I believe, if I'm correct, that are in NATO. And it's kind of like a defensive kind of contract where if one gets attacked, then they all kind of come together. So let's just see what the near future is for that. The near future for the U.S.-NATO alliance. Near future for the U.S.-NATO alliance. Near future for the U.S.-NATO alliance. Near future. Yeah, I'm still seeing 2 weeks. Something about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. 2 weeks is definitely very indicative of something. Something about the 14th and 15th. So pay attention to those 2 days. Another day of mention that might not have to go with this is April 18th is a very important day to pay attention to. April 18th through the 21st, because I was already looking at this, the 23rd and the 24th. So those are the most important days, and possibly the 28th. Almost done. Humidity kind of high today. Cards are kind of sticking. Got some sort of movement that flipped over. Ugh. This doesn't feel right yet. Okay. Alright. Man, there's so much dust in here. Alright, let's see what's going on. Okay, so the future energy, or the near future energy for the U.S. NATO alliance is the Three of Cups. So this is celebration. So there's some sort of celebration as the main energy. We got some sort of independence, resistance, and something not working. Again, we'll go deep into this. We got strength card showing something about holding on. There's some sort of resistance from falling apart here with the Two of Cups reversed. We'll have to see what that's about. But then no, this is saying something's not right here. Whoa. Yeah, we got some sort of loss. But staying strong. I think if this is a breakup, I actually see NATO sort of staying in power, like if the United States leaves. Resistance, but this is also has to do with removing chains, being bound to something toxic. It's clarifying that. Let's see. And then, yeah, there's some sort of anxiety about something not working here with allies. They can't work something out. This has to do with the United States. So what I think is going on here is that the United States is going to sort of go their own way. NATO's going to stay strong even after this loss. And then we got Sherrod on the bottom, which like fell out. Actually, let's take a look at the. No, we'll do that after. We'll do that after this main reading. We'll check the cards underneath and see what the other stories are. So there's some sort of like the main energy is celebration, reunion. This feels like freedom to me. There's some sort of freedom coming. It may be like some sort of narrative is like breaking down, and there's some sort of support for it. But this is like. This is coming together, and I just feel like this has to do with NATO as a whole coming together, but this has to do with maybe pushing the United States out, or like your celebration over this, and it's not coming from the United States, it's coming from NATO. This feels like more like NATO energy celebrating the loss of getting rid of the United States. Oh, my neck. So in the left column, we had, like I said, holding back finances, holding on the finances strongly, staying strong. And this is clarified with the Five of Cups, which is loss. So it's talking about NATO staying strong even after some sort of loss, because we have the loss here, and strength is kind of saying that, hey, we know that there's a loss here, but we're going to stay strong through this time. So that's something that I definitely see. So NATO will still be there, but without the United States possibly. I actually see them probably adding on another member or somebody else as well. That's just like a slight feeling I'm getting. There's some sort of system is changing within there. The next one we have some sort of resistance from some sort of disconnect or some sort of mutual agreement. So there is a sense of trying to resist here from like things falling apart, or people maybe, this has to do with resisting some sort of disconnect. But the clarifier here is the Devil in reverse. So there's some sort of chains that are kind of like loosening up, and this is like loosening of toxicity. I sense loss here, but I sense it has to do with some sort of release. And in the other video I said that, or maybe I didn't say this, but I feel like Europe's going to be more neutral towards the United States in the near future, or in the future, I should say. Is there anything else I'm getting from this? I think this is more of a confirmation here that there is some sort of disconnect that is happening, but there is a slight resistance to it. but I still see it happening. We have the card of loss, and I think this is a good thing, to be honest, because it's releasing those toxic chains as the clarifier. In our final column, we got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, which is the craftsmanship card, but there's a lack of progress. Then there's that problems within a relationship with the Four of Wands in reverse, leading to anxiety. It seems like they can't work out some sort of deal is what I'm getting, or they can't work out working together. So I believe that this may cause some sort of issues. I'm trying to connect with this Nine of Swords. I'm trying to see who this is. To me, it feels like loss, like being depressed and sad over loss. Like this whole reading talks about loss, but the energy as a whole is celebration. Also, I heard like overcoming. So this is like overcoming aggression, overcoming trauma, overcoming this toxicity that's been stuck or like been in the air is kind of what they're saying to me. And that this will prove to be, it says they're saying monumental, and what else are they saying? Sort of like a possible, this is definitely has to do with the New World Order, but like, I can't quite hear what they're saying, but it definitely has something to do with the structure as well, not really functioning the way it was supposed to function. There will be some sort of like animosity, or there will be some sort of like stress, like I said, like how do we repair this, or how do we get back to what we need to be doing here? But I see some good things in sense of NATO. This could be the United States here. I see structures breaking down. I just see, man, I heard like things are falling flat. Is what I heard. But overall, it looks like there will be some sort of separation here. There will be also be like resistance, maybe some sort of leniency here, but it's like I just heard like something about the taste of honey is so sweet. That's weird. That's a weird thing to come up in my brain. Like, what does that mean? All right, let's look at what's underneath the deck. We got some sort of movement, and what I already see the next card. So we have movement, and this is disconnection. This is walking away. This is a failure to make ends meet, is what I heard. Ten of Cups reversed is overwhelming discontent. You know, it's also issues within regions and whatnot. We have the Six of Pentacles in reverse afterwards. That is debts, paying debts, something to do with money, finances. Like I heard, like they're not willing to pay, or this could hurt the people a lot too. Especially with the cards I see coming up. We got the Three of Wands in reverse, meaning like there's something that's not really coming to fruition. So it has to do with money. Also has to do with relations. This could be moving forward to get some sort of reparations of some sort. Something's being fast-tracked is what I heard. So that's top row. Bottom row, we got the Five of Pentacles, which is being left out in the cold. I wouldn't say like debt, but It's like Five of Pentacles is always like loss, being at rock bottom kind of situation. We have the refusal to take action or refusal to participate is what I'm getting. Some sort of refusal is what I'm getting. So poverty, some sort of refusal. We have hidden objectives, things not being seen yet. Like there's still a lot that's not being revealed is what I'm getting to. Like of course the High Priestess is really about your intuition and what you feel, but not what you kind of like see. Um, it's kind of like the spiritual kind of connotation of what you're feeling naturally. Um, this is kind of like the lack of being able to see, to feel clearly. Um, and that goes with some sort of um, overwhelming sort of strife, conflict. Um, what is this really? It's what's it called? When people are like fighting with each other, it's not like conflict. I forget what word I'm trying to think of. Um, Definitely did not get enough sleep last night. But this is definitely like battles. Um, I feel like this has to do with unforeseen problems and issues like arising um, due to some sort of loss. It's like they don't see it coming yet, and I feel like this is what's coming in like possibly 2 weeks. There's some sort of major financial problem that's going to come from this, because there's like debts not being paid. You have people are unhappy, and there's like this. There's no clear vision of what's coming here in the future. Like there's no consensus here what's going on, so people are being left out in the dark is what I'm getting. Yeah, I mean, a lot of major decisions. A lot of the cards underneath kind of indicate something to do with financial stuff. But what I can clearly say here is that there is absolutely some sort of disconnect, and I think I will kind of go with my first instinct and my first feeling is that in 2 weeks something major is going to happen. Um, I just sense if I go from my senses, I feel like something is definitely moving in the direction of the United States going more on its own way and probably producing some sort of new coalition with somebody else. The United States is mostly focused on the greed aspect of things. They're more focused on what they can get out of something rather than how people can work together. And that's the biggest problem that I feel with the United States, and that is selfishness. And it's kind of this is the our own sort of problem that we created because we have been so selfish. And I think that is definitely a lesson that needs to be learned here is that selfishness really gets you nowhere. Um, if you're if your main focus is selfishness, it'll just come back onto you and like tenfold. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Because if you cannot be trusted, um, especially with the diplomacy wise, with the bombing of Iran and its diplomats and the deals and stuff like that, then how can you be taken serious as a nation? How can you be taken serious at all? Especially when, you know, more than 77% of the world is suffering from not being able to financially provide for themselves, while the United States bloats and goats and just shows how awful it can truly be in thinking that this like God, I want to use the word but I can't come up with it or think of the word, but using wealth as like the end all be all and like selfishness as like the number one thing that people should be doing is absolutely wrong, because it just shows what kind of person you are. Nobody wants to be around people who are selfish unless you are selfish in yourself. And even then, when you're selfish, you're just looking out for your own self. You're not really looking out for other people, even those that you are close to. So, I mean, really what I see here is that there's going to be some sort of payment. I just sense poverty. I sense a lack of support. And I sense that things are kind of going to go downhill without some sort of clear consensus. There's definitely some sort of hidden objectives. And in all, I definitely see the United States kind of possibly leaving NATO. I really do think that this is definitely saying it. And I wouldn't, and I say that because of the five of cups. Five of cups is always my loss card, like either someone passing away or somebody or like something leaving, or this is the card of loss for me. Like the death card in itself doesn't necessarily to me mean death. Like somebody passing away, it has kind of, especially with the death of Khomeini, I can't say his name, in Iran. I predicted that like 2 weeks ago, not in video, but I did with my Discord friends, and it happened. I also predicted the Hormuz Straits would be closed, and that was like 3 weeks before that happened. So I don't always get things right, but I definitely sense that Europe wants to look more towards the east rather than the west, is what I'm getting. And Europe knows that the United States cannot be trusted anymore. Absolutely. Is there anything else I want to say? See, we're 21 minutes in. If you have any questions, comments, go ahead and leave it down below. If you like this video, just hit the like, subscribe if you'd like. I'm really just doing this as a hobby, so if you enjoyed this, just let me know. If you, I guess that's really it. I kind of want to continue going on and ranting, but this is not really particularly supposed to be a rant video. I also heard something about not giving in to demands, so that's something else to look out for here. And struggle. So I definitely sense a financial struggle here too. So like the debts are overwhelming and they just don't see something. There's some sort of an attack too. I don't know what this is. We'll get into another video. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna stop it here. It's been long enough. Thank you.